All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the KG Flow. This is season two startup. I have a special, genuine guest here. One of my old boys back in the good old days, Justin Chasmar. Say what's up, Chaz.
What's up, everybody?
Um, so Chaz, what's going on, man? So I know your real name's Justin, but obviously we calls you what, the Chadster back in the day, or I don't know.
Yeah, most people don't even know my name's Justin, especially back in Barty. It's pretty common that people just refer to me as Chaz, but so it's kind of weird when people call me Justin. But in the working world, I guess I'm starting to get used to it.
Chaz, I remember one distinct thing back in the day where every time we went out, do anything socially, you always had that, and you would get like a little tipsy or you had a few drinks in you. You had that tongue stick out,
Oh yeah,
and all the photos that we took.
oh yeah,
I
that was
just remember that.
that was a signature one right there.
Yeah, even you,
I haven't brought that out in a long time.
not even at the wedding.
No, I don't think so. I think that has been retired ever since college.
I'm hoping it's like somewhere hanged up in the banner somewhere, like in the house. So.
Yeah, we got to get a few pictures of that one.
Uh, not good here. All right. So Chaz, just I just want you to give like a quick background, like what you do, where you're from, all that jazz, what you did. I know you were a college athlete at Arcadia, so I'll let you do it.
Yeah, so I grew up with KG in Barnegat. Went to Barnegat High School. I went to Arcadia University to play baseball with fellow Barnegat guy Chris Keyser and Ryan Orch. Played all 4 years there and had a lot of internships uh, in the baseball world. So other than playing baseball, my whole working life has been baseball too. So when I graduated, I still wanted to do something with baseball or hopefully within a sport. Um, got a full time job out of school at a baseball academy. Realized that specific role I didn't really love. I wanted to get in pro sports. Ended up getting lucky and getting an internship with the Phillies for a year, and then after the first full year, they offered me again another internship year in hopes of hiring me full time. And then right before COVID, actually like a week or two before COVID hit, I got hired full time by the Phillies in their youth baseball and softball development department, which is a branch of their community outreach of the front office. So obviously, I grew up a Phillies fan my entire life. Um, so being able to work for them is pretty surreal. This is year six for me working for them. So I help with all youth programs, anything from our RBI program, which is our biggest thing, which stands for Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities. So we help kids all throughout Philadelphia that are under resourced. We give them all the resources that they need to play the game of baseball and softball, whether that's baseball, softballs, hats, shirts, equipment. Because obviously, baseball and softball, just like a lot of other sports, are expensive to play. So that's our biggest program. We also do college tournaments, high school tournaments, um, the Phillies Home Run Derby. So it keeps us busy. June and July are definitely our busiest months because kids are out of school. It's the summertime. We get to do a lot of stuff outside. So, I'm definitely just very fortunate to be in the position I am. Very lucky that I got hired a week before COVID, or else I probably would not be in this position. Um, so, you know, very fortunate to do something that I love every day.
No, that's awesome. I didn't know that, dude. I thought you got hired like a couple like weeks ago or months ago, but oh damn. But no, that's good. Like I'm glad that you got it right before COVID hit. It was obviously a weird time for all of us. Um, so and then obviously I did have a serious topic lined up, but before I get to that question, just a quick question. Like how was that like that Phillies World Series run last year? Tell me about that.
It was incredible. Obviously the Phillies hadn't made the playoffs in over 10 years. So, and even towards the end of last year, um, when they went to Chicago and got swept, it kind of felt like they weren't going to make the playoffs. So, from our standpoint as front office employees and just wanting them to make the playoffs, and obviously still the fan in me that hasn't left. Um, Once they got swept by Chicago, we thought that was probably it, and then they ended up sneaking in, beating Houston one game down there they snuck in. So it was funny. All of our mindsets were like, oh, we just want them to make the playoffs. Then they made the playoffs, and it was like, oh, hopefully they beat the Cardinals so we can get a home playoff game. Then they beat the Cardinals, and they won a home playoff or got a home playoff game, and they got the Braves, and it was like, wow, what they win this, so we're somehow in the NLCS. They made the NLCS, and then it's like, everything just kind of kept stacking on each other. Um, and then obviously they win the NLCS, they get the World Series, and unfortunately came up 2 games short. But this has been said in years, even before I got to the Phillies, that the Phillies are one of the best run organizations when it comes to taking care of their employees. And during that World Series run, you know, just some of the stuff that we got to experience because of the higher ups with them was pretty incredible. Like we had post game parties when the games were in Philadelphia for every series. Um, Usually at the link. So like the game we played, we'd all go over to the Eagle Stadium, and there'd be a huge party for us. And then they treated us to go to the World Series too. They flew us out to Houston for game 1 and 2, which was obviously incredible. And we'd pre-game and post-game parties out there. So we got treated like royalty when we went to the World Series. We flew privately down there. They every time we got on a charter bus to go to the game, they shut down all the roads. It was pretty surreal. I told my fiance then, my now my wife, and said this will probably be the most important you feel in your entire life. And probably stay true unless fingers crossed Phillies make the World Series again. But it was an incredible run. Obviously, stinks they came up 2 games short, but it was absolutely electric. Philly was nuts for 2 months straight or a month straight during the run. So hopefully we can do that again.
No, yeah, I feel you, Chaz. I mean, I know how you feel because my Miami Heat literally had a great run, and now they just came up short in the finals against the Nuggets. But no, it's cool, man. Because I remember when I was in my fall semester at Rutgers, we took a tour at the Eagle Stadium, and me, Nick, and a couple of the boys went out to Philly, and it was just crazy, dude. Like, Eagles were winning, Phillies were making the World Series. Like, it was just, how Philly is. So,
Yeah, no, it was crazy. This whole city was just partying for seriously like a month straight. And then once the Philly season ended, the Eagles were really good, and they made the Super Bowl. So yeah, it was a wild year in Philly.
yeah, just sucks that they did lose three straight championship, finals with
It is
the
tough, yes.
the
Yeah,
Union.
no.
But hey, still though, gotta give them credit.
Yeah, I mean, getting there, and that was the other thing from the Philly side. Like I asked people that I work with, how did last year, compare to when the Phillies were really good, back when we were in high school, like '08 and '09, and they said back then they were expected to make the World Series, before the year, so everyone was planning for the playoffs and everything. This year, no one knew if we were going to make the playoffs, even a few weeks before. So it was just like, everything was just so quick and unexpected. But then also when we made the playoffs, it opened my eyes to see how much stuff goes beyond, like behind the scenes for playoff games and all the stuff that they do down at the ballpark. There's so many moving parts in pro sports, not just for baseball, but for everything. And it's some like just as a normal fan, you wouldn't ever think about how much stuff goes into it. But it's really, really cool.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. So while we're still on the topic about baseball, so I'll get into our first like I said, serious topic is so obviously with this new rule with the pitch clock and everything, I wanted to get like your perspective, your thoughts about it. So I'll go first. In my personal opinion, I low key do like the pitch clock. I love it. It does make the game go by faster, more keeps the pace going. Like me and Kirk actually went to a Mets Yankees game a couple weeks ago, and it was a good game. Like Yankees and Mets going back and forth. I feel bad for Kirk because every time we go to a Yankees Mets game, Yankees always win and the Mets lose. But no, it was a good time. And when I saw it like live for the first time, I was like, yeah, this is way different than the previous years every time we went to baseball games or when I watched it on TV. So So that's just my take. Obviously you grew up with baseball, you love baseball, and you played in it. Um, up until the college level. So what's like your take on the whole thing?
Yeah, honestly, when they first implemented it, I was very, very skeptical of the whole thing. Because it kind of just switches how baseball is supposed to be. The main thing was, everyone said it was the best sport because you can't run out the clock and there's no time, um, or anything like that. But I will say, across baseball plays a lot of games. Play 162 games a year, so I I like it right now for the regular season, because for these guys it's a grueling season. Every other sport is too, but 162 games with not many off days. From April to October is pretty tough. So if you can take off some of the time that they're actually playing, I think helps. I know our ground crew loves it. The games are quicker. There's a lot of people that love it. It definitely switches a lot of things from the logistic side of in-game things. Um, just like, for example, the Phillies have the Philly Fanatic. He does a seventh inning skit every game. He has less time now. Between, let's say, the third inning when he's in the stands to the seventh inning when he does a skit. In years past, it could have been in between innings. Usually had a much longer time. So, I mean, even now, what used to be the case for the last 15 years, switches. Honestly, there's been games that have been under 2 hours to complete the whole thing, which is wild. If you have a good pitching matchup and they're just both dealing and offenses are struggling, the game. I think the fastest game this year was like an hour and 55 minutes or something like that. So the days of going to a baseball game and it, God forbid, going extra innings or something and it taking 4 hours, those days are long gone. Um, I think honestly, I think the players probably like it. I think in the beginning there's a lot of learning curves, and and there's pitch clock violations and pitchers violations. But I think now that we're almost at the All-Star break and it's almost the halfway point, I think people are used to it. Um, my thing is I wish it wasn't something that would be implemented in the playoffs. Um, just because they're playoff games, I don't think that they should, you know, like I said, be timed or be rushed or anything like that. But then at the same point, it's like, well, they did it all year. If you take it away from them, it might mess things up. But in my mind, it's like imagine Game 7 of the World Series, a huge spot and someone being called out on a strikeout for a or a clock violation, something like that. I could just see being the worst case scenario and MLB just being under a lot of scrutiny for that. But I think for the overall game for the regular season, I think I do like it. They also have bigger bases now, so there's some other rules too. But I see why they're doing it. I see they want to try to you know speed up the game for fans, especially like weeknight games. If you're bringing a kid down, the game starts at 6:45 for the Phillies. It used to be 7:05. If the game goes 3+ hours, you're not getting home till probably 11, 12 at night, which is tough. So I think it makes sense. I see why they did it. I think the players now are used to it. Uh, I'm just hopeful, and yeah, I guess hopeful that nothing bad happens because of it in the playoffs.
No, I feel that. Yeah. I mean, obviously this it's been around for so long without the pitch clock, and then it's like boom, new rule, everything changes. It's the
Yeah,
game, man. It's just how it evolves. You know?
yeah. I mean, as a hitter, like because when I played, I was a hitter. Being there's some times in the game where you just need to step out and breathe and think. And now with the pitch clock, like you really can't do that. You have one timeout you're allowed to use per at bat, but other than that, pitch to pitch, you just gotta whether you swing or take the ball, you got to get back in the box. You've technically what 12 seconds to get back in the box, less than that. Um, so it's tough, and especially these major league hitters, especially the guys that have been in the league for a long time. They obviously have a routine that they do every at bat, and Bryce Harper is a good example. He used to take forever in between pitches. He used to like bend his knees and touch the dirt and do all this stuff, and now he can't do that. So it's definitely learning curves. But like I said, now by the time it's almost All-Star break, most of them should be used to it.
Yeah. Nah, dude, I remember you getting dingers. Come on. What are you talking about?
Good old days.
Yeah. Was it your senior year? You won the championship, right? For Arcadia? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we got a new coach, and we set the program record for wins. We won our conference. Yeah, it was a fun way to go out on my baseball career. We were really, really good.
Yeah, dude. That's like the dream right there. Like you graduate, you get a ring, like
Yeah,
and then you start like your real like your big boy job like right after, you know?
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
oh yeah, Chaz. Nah, nah. I was thinking about that too. You know, like it's been 10 years since like we graduated high school and it's just like goddamn, like we're
Yeah, I told
old.
one of we had one of our high school showcases this past week, our Carpenter Cup, and I was telling one of our interns who was in our phone center, and they're all about college age, and I got a notification on my Facebook that it's been 10 years, and I said, "Oh shit, 10 years ago I graduated high school." And one kid just looks at me and goes, "Wow, you're old." I was like, "Yeah, I know, it's crazy." I don't feel that old, but it's wild to think that 10 years ago we graduated high school.
Yeah, yeah, Chaz. You know what's funny is that when I started classes last fall and it's been 5 years since I had been in a classroom, like since Stockton University and undergrad, and then obviously I joined the military and I got out. People were like Kenny, like how old are you? I'm like, I'm 28. And they're like, dude, you look 22, 23. And I was
Hmm.
like, I mean, I'll take it. Like everyone thinks I'm like still in my early 20s. So I don't know.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing. Like I rather look younger than older because
Exactly.
I had a couple friends who look way older than they are. Like I was like, damn, man, like I'm so happy. I guess I age like fine wine. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Hey, some people rather look older, which it's their opinion, especially when they're younger. But and some people rather look younger. So I guess you fall in that category.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, right? Because like when we're all in high school and college, like we want to look older, right? Especially like when you get to college, you're trying to maybe go purchase something like alcohol. You want to look older, and everyone some kids have baby faces, and but now that we're 28 and past that point of our lives, it's like, damn, I want to look young.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if Keezer ever told you the story, but I remember back in I think our senior year in high school, like he asked me to go retro with him one day. I was like, yeah, we'll go. I think that was the only one day where I outlifted him. Like he used to be like scrawny back in the day, and uh and then we did like the bicep curls, everything. And I'm like, Keezer, come on, I know you could put more weight on. He's like, KG, like you only got you only got biceps on me. That's all you got. I was like, all right.
It's not surprised. He probably got defensive.
Yeah,
That's not surprising.
oh man. But yeah, no, cool. No, yeah, thanks for the uh was it back down memory lane. Yeah. Can't believe it's been 10 years already. But no, like I said, I'm glad that everything has been worked out for you since then. Like, dude, like I'm low key jealous. Like you just got married, got a good job for the Phillies, and everything's like going good for you. So, you know, I'm happy like you are blessed in every single way. So, but it's only the beginning, man. Like even though I do sometimes think we're getting old and older and all that, like obviously I can't my body hasn't functioned the same way like right before I joined the Marines, but yeah, 30s is I think in my opinion like our prime. We got a lot more in us, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm right there with you. It's like I've been at the Phillies now for this is my 6th year, like I said. And I feel like I've been there for a while, and I feel like I'm old now because I just got married and stuff like that. But then I talk to your parents or people you work with. Like there's people that have been at the Phillies, for 40 years, and it's like, damn, this is only year 6 for me. I got a long way ahead of me. But it is exciting. It's a weird time in our lives. But because this age too, all kids, everyone that we graduated are friends. They're all in different stages of their lives. Like I just got married. I have friends that aren't even in a relationship, which is completely fine. I have people that have bought a house, a few years ago. It's it's just weird how people do things at different times of their lives around this age. Kids, stuff like that. It's uh it's different. But I guess the other thing is like can't get too hard pressed if like you see someone that has a house and is married and has kids if you're 28 and you don't have that yet, because there's also people that are 35 that don't have anything.
Oh, dude, I love how you just said that. Like everyone's on their own paths. Like things will happen, and I like my advice. I think you would give the same advice. Like, don't stress about it. Everything will fall into place, and things will happen. It's funny how you said that because like I also saw Eddie Santola at ShopRite today. I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
Hmm.
And we were just catching up, and then how's he's back in school too as well. It's like it's crazy, man.
Yeah, like Adam Tynan, just one of my best friends. Just he was in law school for the last few years, right? And like he's he enjoyed life. He was out in Italy for a while before that. Like did law school. Like me and him were obviously the same age, completely different points of our lives, right? And like I said, you see that all across the board. Um, I guess it's just what each person wants to do and when they want to do it. But also when it comes to like relationships and stuff, not all pop up at the same time. Obviously, some people find their partner at 20, some people find them at 30, some people find them at 50. So life's just weird. It's kind of you figure that out as you get older. Like remember like I when we were younger, I remember talking to people and it's like, yeah, I want to be married with 3 kids by the time I'm 27. Now I'm 28 and it's like, holy shit, imagine if that was true. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to think about.
No, yeah, man. Anything? So I know, talked about your whole career and all that, but anything else new, man? Like anything you like doing now that's different? I see you. I don't know if you saw any of my stories or whatever, but like you golf, you know?
Yeah, that's something I guess pretty new. Yeah, my bachelor party, we did a golf trip to Tampa, so that was fun. I'm not good at golf. I shoot like around 100, which is not good at all. But I just like going out there. It's relaxing, have a few drinks with the boys, you know, kind of just get away from whatever you got to deal with. It's kind of honestly, it reminds me of when I would go to baseball practice or a baseball game. It's like no matter what you had going on in your life, and it's probably the same thing with you with lacrosse and swimming and stuff. Like whatever was going on in your life, it didn't matter when you got to practice because it's all you cared about for 2 hours or whatever it was. So when I go to the golf course, it's kind of the same thing. I got to deal with, I guess, a little bit more because we're adults. If it's urgent, but it's just kind of 4 hours. You can just kind of hang out and chill with the boys and just kind of bullshit. And um, I'm hoping I don't get to that competitive level where like if I shoot bad, I just get pissed. There's sometimes I do, but if I'm having a decent front nine, if I mess up on the back, I get mad. But
No, you're yeah.
nothing too serious.
No, sometimes I like whack myself if I have like a shitty like shot or putt, you know. But it's funny that I actually started golfing this year, Chaz. Like I started got into it, and you know what? You know what's funny? I think I learned in my program that if you want to be in the sports business like industry with anything, like you just gotta know how to play golf because what if like top executives are like, hey, like you want to come play 18 with us, this Friday after the business meeting, whatever. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, there's golf out. I mean, anything. There's golf outings all the time. And yeah, I remember when I first got hired. Like, hey, do you want to play? It was like a Phillies golf outing with a bunch of pretty important people. And I was like, I have no idea how to golf. And it was honestly that moment. I was like, I got to learn how to golf. And everyone says like you don't need to be good. You just need to be not horrible, right? You just can't like slow everyone up. So if
Yeah.
you're not horrible, because usually when you do golf outings too, they're like scrambles. So you use the best shot of whoever's with you. So like if you contribute a shot, or a putt, the one, that works. It's all that matters. And that's where, you make your connections, and talk to different people and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. You have a particular favorite course that you've been to, or
Um Around here, probably Riverwinds. Um it's in West Deptford, I think. It's literally right on the other side of Philly. So you have like the Philly skyline. It's a Ron Jaworski course. So it's a little pricier, but it's really nice.
okay. The best one I say my top two would definitely be the one on the Rutgers campus and down by Stockton in Pomona. Those have been my two favorites so far. But I definitely want to go out you know go out to a lot of courses as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something like my brother does something cool. He's got like a golf ball case, and he's huge into golf now. Probably like for the last 4 years. Um, and he's like actually good. So, but he'll go around and play all these nice courses, and he gets like a golf ball from each one, and it's like a display case. So I think he just finished his first one, which is like 50 courses. So he's got a golf ball from each one. He
Oh,
like
shit.
hangs on his wall. So yeah, it's something cool just to do.
Do you
So like when we went to Tampa for my bachelor party, he got a few. So that obviously he'll probably never play again. So
do you get a little competitive with him if you play with him?
I do, but he's got to give me strokes because he's way better than me. So like there's a game you can play. It's called the chip game. You can like buy it on eBay or like get it at Dick's or like poker chips, and there's all different things on them. So like you don't want a lot of poker chips at the end. So like you could do like $1 a chip, you could do $5 a chip if you're really crazy. But like one chip could be like three putt. So like if you three putt, you get that chip. Like one could be it's called like the grave man or something. So like if you end up in a bunker and you don't get out in one shot, you get that chip. If you hit a cart path, there's one for that. And so there's like negative ones and then there's positive ones. So like closest to the pin on a hole gets you know so there's good and bad. But yeah, if I play him in that game, he's got to give me you know either a chip spread or a stroke spread.
Gotcha. Like a handicap, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But that chip game is fun. If you never played it, you should look into it. If you and your boys are similar in skill, I guess even if not, you do it. My brother did, but it's definitely makes golf a little more fun.
All right, I'll definitely look into it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we just got just a couple minutes left. Any like last minute I don't know, advice, takes or whatever you want to leave out, update, whatever you want.
I'll say this just in the because you mentioned the sports industry. The sports industry it's a tough one to get into to break into. Um, and everyone asks me like, "Well, we do networking stuff at the ballpark," and I deal with obviously high school kids that kids from T-ball all the way to high school, but high school kids or college kids that I know are always asking me like, "Hey, how do you get into the Phillies or how can I get into sports? I want to work for the NFL or whatever." Um, my biggest thing is just take any entry level job or internship you can get. Um, I took an internship, luckily in the department that I wanted to do, but a lot of people that work for the Phillies started in the phone center, which I talked about before, which is like their sales internship for college kids. Like as long as you just gotta get your foot in the door, pretty much. And once you get your foot in the door, you rub people the right way, you work hard, you show people what you can do, um, and that's all that matters. Some people get pissed or angry that a specific position they want, like if they want to get into marketing, there's no marketing positions available, but there's sales. Like take that sales position, even if you don't really want to do it. You get your foot in the door, and you know, like I said, you get your foot in the door, you impress people, and then even if they can't hire you, if you do well wherever you are, they refer you to other clubs. So like, right before COVID, if I didn't get hired by the Phillies, I was actually going to move to Cincinnati and work for the Reds. So like, luckily I
Oh
didn't have to
shit.
do. Luckily I didn't have to do. Like, yeah, luckily I didn't have to do that. But like, my boss had called the guy from Cincinnati and said, "Hey, this guy is a really good worker. You probably want him." And it was in the same exact thing I'm doing for the Phillies. So if it didn't work out for the Phillies, I was going to move to Cincinnati and work for the Reds. which, like I said, glad it didn't happen. But all the everyone in sports somehow knows each other. So, if you impress one person, it can lead to impressing two people, to four, to eight, to 12, to 16. It's something that I just keep telling people. Like, if you want a job in sports, it's tough, especially the early years. Internship years and entry level years. It's tough, but like if you want to do it, it has rewards. Obviously like the World Series and stuff like that for me, but it's different. And I always tell people you gotta do what you love. I can't imagine going to a job that I hate. So I get to go to the Citizens Bank Park every day. So it's better than a sales office.
Yeah, dude. Everything you just said, literally all my professors and guest speakers have literally said the same thing, Chaz. So I love it. Love it. And if you took that Reds job, damn, Adam would have been really jealous of you, huh?
Well, Adam's no longer a Reds fan.
Oh, he isn't?
Breaking news. Yeah,
Uh,
he lives in Hoboken now. He has turned his fandom to the New York Yankees.
I see, I see.
Yeah, yeah. He jumped off at a bad time because they're actually good this year. So I gave him shit for it, but yeah, he's a Yankees fan now.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Cool. All right. Well, I think Chaz, thank you again for coming on here, sharing like everything that you've experienced, your knowledge. I appreciate it. Um, and like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing. You're freaking killing it, you know. And I wish you nothing but the best. You and your now new wife, and hopefully you guys like. I hope you guys have like a family one day, and who knows. So, wish you all the very best, brother. Um,
appreciate it, KJ.
yeah. With that being said, this concludes the first episode of season 2. I hope I have another great season on the way. It's summertime, 4th of July is around the corner. Let's just celebrate. What could be better 4th of July than baseball, food, enjoying good weather,
Drinks.
all drinks. Yes, yes, sir. All righty. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, tune in next week, and we'll go from there. Have a good day.
All
Ciao.
right, thanks, guys.